It's getting colder. That means it's getting harder to meet others. It's either too windy or too rainy. And they always invite you when you just arrive home, where it's warm and nice. Also, they always want to go to the pricey restaurants or Starbucks with $8 coffee. Not that it's bad, you just like not being homeless better. So you end up staying inside, where it's comfy and warm, watching your favorite shows. But then you get hit with the wave of loneliness. It feels like you are being crushed. You feel like the smallest person in the world when you realize that you are alone. That no one's calling you to go out anymore, that everyone has someone but you. And that maybe it will be like that forever. That's when true despair hits you. That's when loneliness is at its peak. But this isn't true at all. It's an illusion, a lie you tell yourself. A result not from being alone, but your own behavior. And I'm gonna teach you how to stop feeling like this ever again. You don't have to wait anymore like a damsel in distress. You don't have to keep suffering while being unable to do anything. You just have to watch this video until the end, and you will understand what you need to do to change your life. First of all, what is loneliness exactly? Loneliness and being alone are two different things. Loneliness is a feeling and being alone is a fact. Like if you go to the gym with your headphones on, then you want alone. But if you go to the gym alone and focus on the couples working out together, then you will feel lonely. And this is my point. Loneliness isn't the result of an environment, but the self-inflicted condition, which can be prolonged by a variety of behaviors. The biggest being the fact that your brain is made to make you avoid uncomfortable situations. And that's the real reason why loneliness hits you when you are alone. It doesn't happen because you are alone, it happens because your brain is trying to avoid thinking about something. So it tries to make you feel lonely, as it knows it takes all your focus away. And until you solve those, this process will keep repeating itself. So in this video, I will talk about 3 areas of your life that you must take care of in order to stop feeling lonely. First is, your life is too empty. If my life was just looking at TikTok, porn and work, I would feel lonely too. I would start longing for other people too, because that's just surviving and not feeling like crap. And that's not enough for a human life. A full life requires direction, learning, purpose, video here to help you discover that, and hobbies. Things that feed your being in other ways than food. Like you need to train your body, it's called physical expression. You need to feed your brain, such as learning. You need to practice social skills, such as going out, practicing group activities. And you need spiritual growth, like religion and beliefs. These are all essential areas for a happy life. And if you don't have this, then get to acquire them. You won't regret it. And if you think this is a load of crap, then what makes you believe that others want to stay in your life if even yourself doesn't want to stay in it? If you are constantly trying to use someone to distract yourself from your own life. Which leads us to the next point. If there's one action that equates to loneliness that is the root cause of your loneliness, that action is to avoid. You avoid facing anything uncomfortable. You avoid difficult moments. You avoid talking about difficult feelings to someone else. You avoid facing issues directly. You avoid facing yourself. And that's the real reason why you are lonely. It has nothing to do with being alone and everything to do with how you treat yourself. If you did all of this to someone else, they will feel lonely 100%. And that's the real truth. You have this nasty habit of avoiding stuff, and that was probably shown to you by someone in your family, but it's not the right way to treat yourself. And that's why it feels like you can't breathe sometimes. If you avoid even looking at an uncomfortable feeling, you can't name it, and if you can't name it, you can't affect it either, so it just leaves you powerless. And that's why sometimes it's so hard to say it out loud, because in your minds, it's a fog. And the only way to solve this is to stop running away and really get to know yourself and your issues, because you can't really change something until you name it. Hi, just want to stop you there to ask you to like, subscribe and share, as it helps me. And if you suffer from seasonal depression, I wrote this, and it's free. Just ask me for it in the links below. Now back to the video. And this next part is about your future. If you still see this as pointless, then I'm going to show you the real consequences of not solving your loneliness. Being lonely will sabotage every relationship you will have, and it's going to drive everyone away from your life. And that's when you will truly be alone. Loneliness lowers your dating standards. If being lonely is a result of having a crappy life, then it's not hard for someone else to be seen as a better choice, even if they are a piece of crap. And that's the real reason why your exes suck. You make the choice between being alone and being with them real easy. But wait, it gets worse. This happens with millions of people. People stay miserable in relationships because being lonely is worse for them, because they never took the time to solve this. So their only option is to be miserable and stay there forever. This even happens with victims of abuse. They choose to stay in these horrible situations just so they don't have to face themselves. And not just that, if you had a bad childhood like me, our brain gets pretty good at imagining nice where there isn't. And that's why it's key to tame your loneliness alone, because that's the only way we learn to see people for who they really are, and not a modified memory due to our brain trying to avoid the pain of loneliness. That's how loneliness can be a real mental issue. So if you don't think loneliness is something you have to solve, then just imagine dating the worst pig and staying with them. And the final piece of this puzzle is that you have a bad relationship with rejection. As we talked before, you learn to avoid rejection instead of seeing it as part of the solution. Like if you fear being alone, then the action that solves all of that is engaging with others, meeting new people, being able to say your true thoughts out loud to others. That's how you know that 1, you will never be alone, and 2, you get to know who's right for you. And if you avoid putting yourself in these situations, then nothing changes. Here's an example for you. There's probably a pervert out there, a real weirdo, like a furry, that faced thousands and thousands of rejections, met someone, and married, all while you are still struggling with your issues. The only difference is, the pervert understands that it's a numbers game. That rejection is just a step to the solution. That, as long as he keeps putting himself out there, he's bound to find someone. Like it's mathematically impossible to get rejected by all 8 billion people on Earth. In a coin toss, statistics are 50-50, and rejection is just a way of making the process faster. So stop being afraid and just go for it. If it hurts, then it hurts for the right reasons. And that is the end of you being alone. And it's worth it. That's what you have to learn in order to stop being lonely.